have here with me Pastor E.L. Bynum. He pastored for 44 years the Tabernacle Baptist Church in Lubbock, Texas. And he's edited the Plains Baptist Challenger and just been a tremendous influence upon a number of preachers, including myself. And we're fortunate enough to have him here celebrating his 60th anniversary in the gospel ministry. And so I didn't want to miss this opportunity, so I've asked him to answer some questions which a number of folks have given me. And so I'm going to be sharing those with you by way of video here. And so we're going to go to Pastor Bynum and ask some questions. Thanks for joining us. Have you ever been in or experienced a revival? Of course, we're talking more than just a revival meeting here, but where God just really in a marvelous way moved in, and if you have, could you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I have seen that in revival meetings, and I have seen it in the pastorate and in observing other pastors who accomplished that thing. Revival meetings are not as important to churches today, apparently, as they once were, and people spend so much time in worldly things that they're going to have to get serious with God. But I've seen the moving of the Spirit of God where people began to grow, where their lives were changed, where souls is being saved, and see it go for many years.
Would you say there's been a change in the harvest in the 60 years, the way we see people getting saved today compared to what it was like in your early years? And what would you say has made that difference?
Well, that's kind of hard to answer, but there's definitely a difference. I remember going to preach revivals sometimes in a church with 100 people or less, and have 15 people or more saved. Go to churches where they would be, in a week's time, they would be dozens of people saved. And honestly, I haven't seen that in recent years. And I think I know better how to preach than I did then. And it's just that people are not open to the gospel. They've been satisfied by the things of the world. Some of the things we've already talked about, materialism, and the things that the devil uses as tools to take their minds away from spiritual things. People will not stay in a revival meeting now over a half a week, and until not too many years ago, we never had a meeting in our church that was less than a week long. The longest meeting I ever preached was 3 weeks long, but I've had others that went 2 weeks and long, like that. And you'd preach to the Christians for several days, and then you'd turn, after you seemingly got the signs of revival in the hearts of God's people, you'd turn to preaching the gospel, and people would bring their lost neighbors and friends, and they could get people easier into church than they can now.